Now, I have a question. Can anybody name one group, black demographic, in the black diaspora who calls themselves African something in the same way that we have called ourselves African American? What other group around the world calls themselves African whatever? You can't name any. Haitians don't call themselves African Haitians. They don't call themselves Black Haitians. Same with Jamaicans. No matter where you go, no matter which group of black people you're talking about, nobody does that. So why should we? That's why this argument that we should call ourselves African American is silly. And to be honest, to call ourselves Black American or foundational Black American is equally silly. But it's only said to identify exactly who you're talking about. You see, it's not really a title that we thought of just because we thought it sounded good. Because in reality, we're just Americans. And if you want to be, like I said before, the most accurate title for us is Native American. We're the native people of this land, the native people. But there's a lot of problems with doing that. Black people are going to think you're talking about red Indians. White people, same. Every group of people on the earth, they're going to think that you're referring to Indians and that you're trying to claim Indian identity. No. So it's only because of people's general collective stupidity. That's the reason why you sort of have to sidestep using the phrase Native American. Native American doesn't work. An African American is a no-go. This dude is so desperate to get us to call ourselves African. He's so sad that this old, outdated idea is finally going into the history books. He's furious. And he's been uploading numerous videos trying to launch attacks against Black Americans. Again, because he's frustrated and mad because fewer and fewer of us are rocking with this Africa anything. Don't want Africa in our name at all. We're not Africans. We were not born on the continent of Africa. The fact that our ancestors came over to America, let's say 50,000 years ago, between 50 and 100,000 years ago, because that seems to be the accepted time that blacks arrived in other areas. Between 50 and 100,000 years ago. That does not justify calling ourselves African today. Just because we originally came from Africa eons ago. And if that does justify us calling ourselves African today in your mind, then why aren't you putting pressure on other black groups to call themselves African whatever? It makes no sense. Now he's come out with this other talking point of what were we doing during the Ice Age.
Oh, Jesus and all of that. I want to know, you understand, what was y'all doing? What was y'all doing during the Ice Age? And you understand? And y'all say y'all indigenous. So, and now understand me. Understand first. I understand first now. I understand being first in the land.
Yeah. And he's saying that we may have been first in America, but there's no way that we could have been indigenous to America. How? That still doesn't make, that's a weak argument, and it's a stupid thing to try to argue, period. And it's very possible for humans to be indigenous, for us to be indigenous to this land. That is very possible. Why do I say that? Because there are warm areas of the Americas. Big Goofy. During the Ice Age, not all of North America was under ice. It was just the northern part of the United States. Where were the black people? If they were over here during the Ice Age, they were in the southern portion of America. Mexico. You got to remember, Mexico is not a different continent. That's America too. The division between Mexico and the United States is imaginary. Just like the division between Europe and Asia. That's all one continent. There is no Europe. That's all Asia over there. And the same is the case here. They were in Mexico. They were in the southern portion of Florida. Right? They were down here in this area. That's where they were. Now, what's your next question? He ponders over this. He so thinks that he has something. Where were you during the Ice Age? Where were you during the Ice Age? Ha ha. Ooh, look at me. SETI, I done brought up a question that none of y'all can answer. Ooh, I got you. I got you, didn't I? Where were you during the Ice Age? Just goofy. Goofy is all get up. This is the equator right here. You see that? That means just as humans evolved in Africa, they could have evolved here in America. All you need is heat. There ain't nothing special about the African landmass. It was warm over here, just like it was warm in Africa. What are you talking about? Talking about how it's impossible for blacks to have originated in the Americas. How so? When all that's required is a warm environment. Over there tweaking out, talking crazy. Talking straight crazy. That's what you're doing over there. Now let's move to the next timestamp. The next bit of crackhead rhetoric.
We have connection to other landmass that, and there is no argument because General Cyrus SETI been teaching that black people was original, the oldest civilization in North America since 2005.
You wasn't teaching nothing. You was plagiarizing. You was sharing stuff that other people wrote in books. Out of here with that. You didn't come up with nothing. You was going around sharing other people's information. You wasn't teaching nothing. Now you heard him say that what he's trying to clarify is that we have connections to other land masses. That yes, we may have been here in the Americas for a long time, but that we originally came from Africa. That still don't justify calling ourselves African. That's stupid. It's stupid. And you're only pushing that narrative just so you won't look stupid for pushing this African concept, this Pan-African garbage for all these years like you have. That's the only reason you trying to stress this goofy argument. Nobody cares that we came from Africa eons ago. Oh, nobody. No black group. You go to Fiji, you find black people. They don't call themselves African Fijians. They don't even call themselves black Fijians. They're just Fijians. The Sentinelese people they don't call themselves African nothing. Don't nobody call themselves African nothing. So it don't make sense for us to do it. Get out of here. Talking like you making sense. You ain't making no sense, dude. This dude is so full of himself. I've never seen anybody talk this crazy and also at the same time is full of themselves, thinking they some type of genius.
And that we have connection to other landmass.
Yeah, shut up. Let's move to the next time stamp. This is truly ignorant babble.
See, let me tell you something. See, I like how you doing that, Black Ace. I like how you doing that. Because the thing is, see, Black Ace, you're not genuine when you say that. Because people's been talking shit about the Pan-African community. You say, you know what, I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass. I'm sick of you. You see what I'm saying? Y'all effectively been putting up videos on the Pan-African community. Like, man, it's just been relentless amount of videos. You ain't said shit, nigga. You ain't said shit. You been riding in the chat over there with you, but y'all know y'all can't beat me. That's just what it is. You know you can't beat me. Real talk. I'm a dynamic nigga, man. I'm just gonna be real. I know my shit. You know, this is my motherfucking craft. And I'm a cold nigga in it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be 1,000 with you. I'm a cold nigga in my craft. And none of you niggas can beat me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just be 100 with you. All you niggas together cannot beat me. I'm just being 100. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I haven't heard one motherfucker openly motherfucking call my name. You know why?
Yeah, shut up, man. Ignorant Pookie. Ignorant effing Pookie. Shut up. You mean can't nobody beat you? What are you saying? That you can't be wrong about something? That's a goofball. And he's so full of that Keisha spirit. Nigga. Yeah, nigga. Get out of here. Just a male version of Keisha. Now, I'm so glad that I made that SBW channel and pointed all of this out many years ago. These dudes are black women with penises. They are equally hateful of black men. They carry that same hatred for black men that black women have. I think you a fool if you don't see that. These pookies, these hateful pookies who go around attacking other black men and look at black men as their number one enemy. That's them. That's pookies. Gunning each other down. He's got that spirit in him. He's got that same anti-black spirit in him. And that is quintessential Keisha energy. That's that same demon she got from her slave master and passed it to several of these pookie Negroes. And you can spot them by the language that nigga, nigga, nigga. Shut up. Such a weak-minded buffoon. Such a weak-minded buffoon. You still, no matter all this information you've gathered and stuffed in your brain, you still not confident in your ability to drive a point home without using those types of words. You still stuck in your teenage years. Yeah, nigga. Just pathetic. Don't be out here trying to front like you somehow mentally strong. No, you're not.
You want Creflo, give me all your dollars. You want Eddie Longstroke. You want that's still your church. You wearing the cross. I know what it is. You see what I'm saying? And we give high praise to the black woman. You see what I'm saying? We give high praise to the black. We come out of civilization that give glory to the black woman. You see, y'all.
There you go. I believe you. Which is why you don't call them niggas. Why don't you call the black women niggas too? You ain't got no derogatory word for them at all. Because like I said, you got that Keisha spirit in you. You only have a problem with black men. Black men and black men only. And that's really the reason behind your attack really on Tariq Nasheed. All these videos is directed towards Tariq Nasheed. Now again, I think using that word foundational is stupid. Because it defines us only in the matrix of the United States as it exists today. Foundational to the United States of America as it exists today. As if we arrived during that time, shortly before the building of the United States. And that's just not true. We were here long before the building of modern United States. Long before. Just from a historical standpoint, that is inaccurate. Foundational Black American is sort of inaccurate. However, I do find it acceptable in the political realm. Fine. As long as we both know who we're talking about, fine. But using the word African, no. That's a big no. Because when you do that, first of all, no other black group is doing that. And calling ourselves black something, that already has us doing something that no other group does. But the difference between black and African is that black is acceptable because that's what we are. We were not born in Africa. In order to legitimately be African, you need to be born on that continent. We simply have African ancestry. But we are American.
Foundational African American, you did not the question and answer it. But all that straw man argument shit is over. The fact is, you could have said foundational African American. You did not want to be African. That's understandable. Go ahead, because you's a Negro. And that's what you Negroes have always done.
See? Immediately, he tried to say, oh, that's acceptable. And then he immediately dumped on people who refused to call themselves African American. How pathetic is that? Boy, you truly are butthurt. You want to call yourself African American, that's fine, but you's a Negro. Yeah. You attack them immediately after telling them that it's acceptable to call yourself Black American rather than African. You truly are butthurt.
Understandable. Go ahead, because you's a Negro. And that's what you Negroes have always done. You have always wanted to be in this elitist group, and you understand that's what y'all
and always wanted to remove the word African. You doggone right. Because we're not African. Period. And do y'all notice continental Africans, they only pressure Black Americans to call themselves African. They only call us African. You are African people. You are African people. It doesn't change the fact that you are African people. They don't pressure or force any other black group. It's only Black Americans that they do that to. Why? Because of people like SETI. People like you going around popping your gums, calling us African. African people. Oh, we African. No, we ain't African. That has been used against us by Africans themselves. First of all. Second of all, it's inaccurate. We were not born in Africa. We were born here in the United States of America. And truly, we are Americans and nothing else. We are American people. Period. We are the original people in this land. Just like we were the first people in every other flipping continent outside of Africa. Because when people first started to navigate the world, there was nothing but black people on the earth to navigate the world. We were the first ones in these different land masses. And when you find us in these different land masses, you find black people calling themselves by their native land. Period. They don't put black before it. They don't put African before it. But if they were going to put black before it, I could understand that. That would make more sense, because we are black just like the people of Africa are black. We don't have to be born on the continent of Africa to be black. You do have to be born on the continent of Africa to be African. No matter how you try to manipulate it. We are American. Deal with it. We're not African. You got to be. What about that? Don't y'all understand? Don't you Pan-Africanists understand? You can't hide from the truth. We're American, period. We came over here eons ago, have built civilizations that are now so ancient that they're in ruins. We've been over here eons, and we have evolved into a whole different group of people apart from Africans. I need you Negroes, you Pan-African Negroes to understand that. And I need you Africans on the continent of Africa to understand that too. Stop trying to push this title of African or Africa on us. It's rejected. Period. Period. We have African DNA. We are black like Africans. That's it. Why does this hurt people's feelings? Why does that rub people the wrong? Why does the truth rub people the wrong way? That's just the truth. Everybody else are allowed to be whatever they are. Right? They don't have to put African in front of their name. We're the only ones that get pressured to do that. No matter how you slice it, that does not make sense. I'll leave it there.